What's up, y'all? It's Papa Must react to this vid. This is visual effects artists react to Harry Potter bad and great CGI. I thought the Harry Potter series was great. You know, I mean, obviously it wasn't the best CGI ever, but it's kind of old. The first Harry Potter, I feel like, came out in like the early 2000s, late 90s. I don't know exactly, but it's old, so you know it could have been better. But you know, for what it was worth at that time, I think it was good. But sure, let's see what they gotta say. Let's watch.
The Harry Potter movies are packed full of a lot of stuff, and VFX is one of them. There's a lot of...
So the platform 9 3/4 scene is a good example of basically sleight of hand.
Coolest water ball I've ever seen in my life.
Seriously, look how good that is, dude! No.
Oh! So, how do you think they did that shot?
Oh,
Thanks to our sponsor, Vessi. Stick around to the end to figure out how you can get 25 bucks off your pair of Vessi shoes.
It's an ad or sponsor.
This is like such a big moment in the movie too, because it's just like, wait, what? She's inflating. It looks so good, right?
Yeah.
It's incredible.
This looks like it's 100% practical. I mean, you know, minus like a wire paint out or something.
I mean, that's exactly it. This entire scene is practical.
Really?
Dude, that's incredible.
They actually had like 3 different fat suits that she was able to wear, and they actually had a bunch of different bladders inside of the actual suit that could inflate. It's an actual physical prosthetic, but none of that is digital.
Like the way it folds when she moves her head around?
Yeah.
Such a good little touch that you get from the practical.
They actually put a stunt double in the big suit because they put her up in the air on wires, and so all the actual digital effects happening here is just wire removal.
I'm just blown away at the gravity effects that they have. It actually looks like she's bouncing like a balloon that's full of helium, and to get that wire set up and to be able to replicate that look, I imagine is very difficult. Did they replace the ceiling maybe? Is the ceiling CG?
I'm imagining the ceiling itself is not there on set. I think it's like a classic sitcom where you have all the walls go straight up and you have like the crown molding and then just nothing. You got rigging and lights above that.
Because for her to go from the dining room to this like little patio room, she's probably attached to like 4 wires.
I think so, yeah. No, I think she's attached to a few wires because notice how they cut. They never actually show her go entirely through the doorway. They show it through a series of cuts. So yeah, I wanted to bring this up because this is a cool example of something that was a cool mesh between, you know, doing everything practically but using visual effects to make it happen.
So the platform 9 3/4 scene is a good example of basically sleight of hand. There's effects here, you know, basic rotoscoping. It's actually not that crazy.
Yeah,
but we have this transition where Harry
Potter
shots. You know, it's funny because like that's how I would do it too. But they don't cut. This is the same shot of Harry the whole time. The way they did the shot is pretty cool. So this background here is actually the background we see later after he's gone through the pillar. But they've done VFX to replace the cool old-fashioned steam locomotive with these new trains. So that's basically just an image in the background here. And if you watch, you see how the reflections don't move on the train at all.
Right. It's even 2D. It doesn't actually distort.
Yep, it's just a picture. It's literally just a picture in that corner because no one's looking at it.
Yeah, you're looking at Harry's face. Yep. So what happens after the screen goes dark? What's happening there?
So they straight up just do a lighting gig. They just turn off the lights and they do a new light where that turns on here on the side. The brick wall behind him is CG.
Really? That's a full CG brick wall?
Full CG brick wall.
Okay.
And it's a fake Harry Potter shadow right there.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they had this problem. Like, okay, so how do we reveal the wall? Like, does it just fade in? Like, that's kind of lame. How do we reveal the wall? They just went with the tried and true wipe. So as that bellhop walks across, it reveals the wall. It's really subtle.
Yeah, okay, sure.
So it causes your eye to completely miss when the wall appears. It's just there. But these are like the psychological tricks that a good VFX artist can really implement to make impactful shots. And then he steps around the corner and they reveal the set that's actually there.
But, okay, no, I'm confused. It's a wall that extends forward. It's not a pillar.
Yeah, that's CG.
On the right?
Yeah,
the brick wall.
Man. You can see the texture tiling. So you can actually see a repeating pattern going up the side of the brick wall there.
Yeah, that's so funny.
In this day and age, that train would be entirely CG.
Yeah, totally.
They don't have the capabilities to make the train look realistic with the steam like that back in the day. Like, the technology does not exist. So they had the train there for real. And this is a situation where it's easier to put something over the train and then reveal it than it is to have the thing there and then try to comp in a new, big, awesome, cool-looking train. It's like, no, make that your real stuff and then paint it out later for the beginning of the shot.
Yeah, it's always about what is the easiest or cheapest thing to do. These days, it's hard to make a big train like that for real, but it's easy to make one digitally. So it's like, if we were to redo that shot, we would have the beginning of it all be real and then the end of it be fake.
Yep.
Welcome, Harry.
Diagon Alley. Alley.
Diagon
Alley.
They did it.
I don't know, Nico, how they do it?
You know how they did it.
It's miniature. It's a miniature, right? It's a miniature.
Now these days, if you did that shot, you'd film your shot, you'd have your blue screen or something up, and then you'd go into the computer and you'd camera track the shot, or match move the shot.
Yeah.
Basically, the computer analyzes points in the scene, and based on how those points move, it can figure out where the camera was and where it was moving and what it was doing. So they did that, of course. But here's the thing, they don't now have just a 3D model they can drop in. What they need to do is take your miniature, get another camera, put it on a computer-controlled arm, miniaturize the movement that they did, and then replicate that exact camera motion on that computer arm, filming the miniature, so they can stick the miniature shot into this shot and all the motion lines are. Which is such like a clunky and hard way to go about doing things, because the cameras stay the same size. The sensors stay the same size, the lenses stay the same size, and now you're trying to marry these two shots together. And one of the challenges they faced with the shot that took them a long time to fix was lens distortion. Because it's a wide-angle shot, and there's a little bit of lens distortion in it, but the distortion is different for a miniature that's filmed up close versus an actual building that's filmed far away.
Yeah, I think that's something that is so cool, and I want to try and mess with.
I've literally been wanting to get like some sort of motion control system for years now, just so we can experiment with bringing back something like this.
Yeah, like that to me is, that's how you make a movie look real.
Okay, but
second
look at
that
this
I
hat.
seen
So obviously
today.
The entire hat is CG because it's like a character, right? Mm-hmm. But it's interfacing with the person.
Right. So they have a wireframe hat that the actors are working with.
Oh, really?
Now the thing is, when the hat brim falls across their face, you see a shadow fall on their face. And this is a big problem you have when you have CGI objects casting shadows, is that there should be zero directional lighting coming from the top. In fact, what should be happening is Harry Potter in the shadow should be lit from the bottom, because the only light that'd be reaching his face there would be light bouncing off the floor.
Like right here, technically you wouldn't have the highlight on his glasses, because it'd be reflecting the bottom of the hat, which is in darkness.
Yep. In fact, actually, let me grab the sombrero.
Get our animatronic sorting hat.
All right, I got a sorting hat here. So now as Ren puts this on, we're gonna lose all this top lighting here.
Yeah, also keep a look at the specular highlights on his glasses, how they disappear.
Look at his nose. See how the bottom of his nose is now brighter than the top of his nose? Now remove the hat. Now the top of his nose is brighter than the bottom of his nose. So you put that hat down, there's no more light coming from this direction, the only light's coming from this direction. So his face is now underlit. But Harry Potter's face with the hat is not underlit.
Wait, but which
Sorry,
house am I in?
You're in my house
I
now.
hate that. You can't coexist.
It's such a subtle thing. No one would catch this. Like, no one in the theater would catch this. But it's a thing. It totally is a thing.
But that being said, this is an effects artist
Yeah,
trying to
nobody
compensate for
think about
decisions
this
made
shit.
on set, and I think they're doing a pretty good job.
They're doing a
Great
solid job.
Because I mean, look at the shape of that shadow. It actually deforms around his face perfectly.
And his nose.
Yeah.
See? It comes up over his nose. It's perfect.
Yeah, everything about this is perfect except for the fact that an artist had to somehow go in and paint out directional lighting on Harry Potter. But they still did a great job. The compositors on this film are like world-class compositors.
There are so many effects across 8 movies. Of course, we can't talk about all of the effects in this one episode, so we will be doing another Harry Potter special, but the difference this time is that we are going to specifically use your comment recommendations for that second episode. So leave a comment down below, we'll read them, and we'll review them on camera.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Oh, I really love this one.
No. No. Oh! How did they do that? They did it.
God, must have had real wizards on set.
That probably slid by a lot of people.
I don't know, it's pretty in your face. You're like, wow, I just went through a mirror.
Concentrate. Patiently. Be brave.
Oh, this one they
The Bogart is
fear.
interesting and all, like they do some really cool transitions. But for me personally, the thing that is
Represents
most compelling from this whole scene is just the camera and how they
And
use
then
it
the
to go
Dementor
through the
came
mirror.
for Harry.
Interesting. So we've been in their imaginations
have
the
to
whole
kill
time,
it.
and now we're back to reality.
That's so cool. Oh my god.
However, look at Harry.
He's flipped.
The entire scene is flipped. The
Wait,
ending
what?
shot of this entire thing is reversed. His patch is on the wrong side. His scar is on the wrong side.
What are they implying?
yeah.
Are we in a different dimension now?
We were in a different dimension the whole time, and when they started learning Defense Against the Dark Arts, they were actually in the real world just for a moment. No, I don't think anyone actually gave that too much thought. They're just like, we're going through, it has to be a mirror image of what you're seeing because, you know, it's a reflection. So, how do you think they did that shot?
I have an idea. Well, first you're looking at the mirror shot, right? You move forward at a set speed, figure out a way to do that, whether it's controlled or you just have a little song playing in your head, you're hitting marks at a certain speed, whatever it is. And you flip your camera or set up your people for the actual angle that you're seeing through the mirror, and then you have a little CGI thing in the middle. I just try to match the speed twice and then blend between them.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. The camera's just pushing in on like this nothing thing there, and they're tracking that shot and rendering in this cabinet that has, a mirror front. All they do is they take the footage of the second filmed shot and just put that on a plane behind the camera, and so that the cabinet itself is reflecting that.
So that means at some point they're transitioning from the reflection of the real footage to the real footage.
Exactly, yeah. And it's done even more intensely right here at the end. Because notice the mirror moves. The whole door is open and it's reflecting the side of the room there. They actually had to have footage of the side of that room there built out in 3D space. And it happens so fast, it's a very dynamic shot. It works very well. I just thought it was a pretty cool touch of filmmaking that, again, requires visual effects to make happen.
Dude, pretty cool. That's amazing. It's so good.
I think magic is cool, but I'm kind of saddened by the fact that no one's done like the kind of stuff that you think magic should be able to do, especially if you play some D&D.
Yeah, magic can be brutal, but this is a children's movie franchise. They can't be brutal. But what if someone could, make it brutal?
Yeah, what if someone could make it brutal? Almost like if Harry Potter was rated R. What if someone already did all that and the video's coming out tomorrow on the Corridor Crew channel?
That's right. We made rated R Harry Potter. We took some of our favorite moments and we made them violent.
I want to
really
see
violent.
it.
Seriously violent.
So Harry Potter rated R is coming out tomorrow on this channel. If you're not subscribed and you want to see it, consider subscribing.
Hold on.
Sam, kids are gonna be brutally murdered.
Sorry, Nico.
Just to give them a little bit of time to animate that ball.
Chiquiliosis!
Are we killing kids?
Disappears. I wasn't expecting memes to make their way into this, and that was.
Okay, that takes long as a point. Okay, this is pretty interesting. Of course, visual effects make everything better. Harry Potter wouldn't have even been possible without the special visual effects and all that shit. But I think they did an amazing job with Harry Potter. The little shit that they're pointing out like that could have been better, and what they would have done today is just like, we weren't paying attention to that. We was like, oh, this shit is lit. Oh my God, that's so cool. Like, I feel like all of the Harry Potter movies were done so well. So, yeah, I'm sure, if it came out today, it would be a bit better. But, for what it's worth, at that time, I think they did an excellent job. I have not seen any of the Harry Potter movies in a very, very long time. I kind of need to go back and watch them because there's hella shit I forgot. But, yeah, cool video. Y'all let me know what y'all thought, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.